Hello there, welcome back. Now, our next guest was just 3 years old when he was struck down by sepsis back in January 2020. And after a 3-month battle in hospital, he was left with irreversible damage, resulting in both of his legs and 9 of his fingers being amputated.
However, 4 years later, brave William Reckless has gone from strength to strength, and he's just completed an incredible 4-mile challenge, raising nearly £8,000 for Nottingham Hospital charities.
To hear more about his incredible story, we're joined now by his mum, Gemma, dad, Mike, and sister, Georgia. And with a big round of applause, ladies and gents, please welcome to the studio, William! What's this parking? Yeah, he does it better than I do.
That is amazing.
Better than me.
William, that is so cool. This is your hand bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has it got a name? Have you named it anything?
No.
I feel like we need to find a name for the hand bike, because I know you're a big fan of the Transformers. The reason we've got you to come in on your hand bike is because you've just finished this incredible challenge. Will you tell us what the challenge involved, what you had to do?
I had to do a 2-mile walk and a 2-mile cycle.
God, 2 miles of
Wow.
both. Which was harder, the walk or the cycle?
The walking was harder.
What was hard about it? Did it just go on and on and on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to do some serious training for it? What did you do? Did you have, like, a training plan that you did with your dad or your mum?
At weekends, we would go on walks and cycles.
Did you? And you started small and then got bigger and bigger and bigger for the challenge. And Georgia, you did it too. You helped out as well. You're like William's biggest cheerleader. So did you do the whole race?
Yeah.
Did you?
What was the hardest bit for you, Georgia?
Mostly the walking.
It's the walking. It's a long way with little legs, isn't it? That's the thing.
But you crossed the finish line together. That's
Here's
not...
the lovely bit of footage of the guys doing this incredible, incredible challenge. Gemma, you must be so enormously proud of him.
Absolutely, yeah. So proud of them both, really.
If we can, let's go back, because, of course, sitting here with William, who's so full of life and so full of energy and fitness and health, is a really special thing. But I'd imagine 4 years ago it didn't feel like that. Tell us a little bit about when you first found out he was ill.
So he'd been generally unwell over the weekend, and we just thought he'd picked a bug up from nursery. Nothing specific, you know, he'd been sick, he was a little bit off his food, lethargic, and over the weekend he got gradually more poorly, and took him to the GP, and they thought he'd got a virus. And it was later that night that actually Mike saw a thing on the internet about scarlet fever doing the rounds, and we had the conversation of, should we leave him in bed? He's finally gone to sleep. He might just need some sleep. And I said, you know what, if he needs some antibiotics and we get him seen 12 hours quicker, that's 12 hours sooner he's going to get better. So we took him into our local hospital, and very quickly from there they picked up how poorly he was. And it, like, the room starts filling up, and sort of say, do I need to get my husband here? And they were like, yeah, like, he's very, very poorly little boy, and he had to be transferred to a bigger hospital in Nottingham that had paediatric intensive care, so...
And at that point, what's going through your mind at that point? Are people telling you what they think it could be, or are you just out of your mind with worry at that stage?
They'd been pressing a rash, constantly pressing a rash, and the doctor said to me, do you understand what's happening? And I said, he's got meningitis, hasn't he? And they said, no, he's got sepsis. And I said, what's that?
Yeah.
I had no idea what that was at that point. I just remember thinking, somebody wake me up. This is not happening. I was at home a couple of hours ago. This is not happening.
And William's condition deteriorated really rapidly, didn't it, when you went to the hospital?
It did. I think they realised how much he was struggling, and obviously children can mask it very well, and they said, we're going to have to put him into a coma to rest his organs and to give his body a chance. And then he was blue lighted to an intensive care unit in Nottingham.
Yeah.
And we couldn't travel with him. So as we got there, they came to get us, and they said, he's gone into cardiac arrest and we don't think we're going to be able to save him, so you need to come and be with him. And yeah, it's like your whole world just falls apart.
And it must feel all the more surreal now, because we're so many years later and we can see the big smile on his face and what he's just managed to achieve. I wonder, Mike, what it felt like for the two of you at that point to think, as Gemma was just saying, he had a fever, you'd finally got him to sleep, and then all of a sudden he's gone into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, we just couldn't believe it, really. I think we were just in denial for the first maybe 12 hours until his heart stopped, and then it was, this is serious. But yeah, just every parent's worst nightmare, really.
So he had to get through the operation. He had to make it through that. You'd been told to prepare for the worst. When did you realise that he was going to survive, he was going to be OK?
He'd been in a coma for about 8 days, and then they were able to extubate him. And at that point, one of the doctors, who had been very frank about the chances of him surviving this are very slim, came talking to me, and I said, "Oh, if he survives," and he says, "No, not if. He will survive now." And I just burst into tears. It was like, he's going to survive, he's going to make it. And I remember running back into the room where all our friends and family were and saying, he's going to make it, he's going to make it. So it was 8 long days.
I bet it was. And what have been the challenges for you since then?
I think as parents, you worry about everything, especially when we first came home. You can't envisage what life's going to be like. And people show you Paralympians, but, you know, that's not real for everybody.
Because the reality, he
initially.
survived, but you knew there was some amputation was going to have to happen in order for him to keep going.
It was a good 2 months before they could actually do the surgery to amputate. They wanted to let what was going to recover. So it wasn't until the March that he had his surgery. So yeah, it's just trying to picture how he's gonna cope from there. But the whole way through, William's just smiled and got on with it. He's never questioned why me. He's never complained. So we've had to sort of be led by William.
Yeah.
William, do you remember much about? You were very young. Do you remember much about when you were ill?
No.
No. Do you remember being in the hospital at all? Didn't you watch The Lion King a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just remembered the good bits, I think.
The good bits, enjoying The Lion
Definitely.
King. No one
Yeah.
telling him to stop watching it.
Yeah.
Put the screen away.
Yeah, how many times have you watched it, do you think, Hakuna Matata? Quite a few, I'm guessing, right?
So when you think back then to what you went through, what you didn't know, the 8 days in the coma, a few months before the amputation, coming home, to think that he's just achieved this incredible challenge of a 2-mile walk and a 2-mile bike ride, that must be extraordinary, Gemma.
Yeah, to be in a position like when we're in the family room, I remember seeing where other people had raised money for the hospital and just thinking, I really hope we can get to that stage where we can give back for all the kindness we were shown. And so to actually see him cross the finish line, to see him so fit and well, it was really emotional.
But he's so amazing. Because obviously there are a whole new set of challenges that come with everything. He's just gone past your wildest expectations now.
Yeah, he gets on with everything. He's very active. He loves school. He's excelling at school. He's just a really happy little boy.
What's your favourite
Smash it.
subjects at school, William?
Computing.
Computing, yeah, future programmer.
Yeah, he's gonna be super
Mum and Dad will be
clever.
pleased about that.
Yeah.
Now, you're so brilliant at what you've done. You've been nominated, haven't you, for a Just Giving Award?
Yeah, this is all news to William.
This is all amazing. So you've been nominated for a Just Giving Award. So anybody that gets involved in Just Giving, they have these awards for amazing nominees.
There's 18,000 people, Ben, that
18,000
are
people.
nominated in this.
But the big news is, not only have you been nominated, you've been shortlisted to be one of the award winners this year at the Just Giving Awards, which is amazing. You've been chosen by a lot of celebrity judges, including Amy Dowden and Ellie Simmons, Jake Quickenden, Ricky Hayley Williams, Adele Roberts. They've known, so you're going to go into a big ceremony to see if you've won one of these awards.
One of the finalists.
For all that you've done for those Nottingham Hospital charities, which is great.
Amazing.
And also, are you having a special day out today?
Yeah, we're off to the Natural History Museum.
All like the
Excellent.
dinosaurs and bits and pieces.
Got to see Andy's clock.
Well, the good news is we've been in touch with the Natural History Museum because we told them that you were coming on the show today and we wanted to celebrate you being here. And the lovely thing is we've managed to sort you out an exclusive VIP tour of the Natural History Museum. We know how much you love nature, so you're going to get complimentary access to their top exhibits, the Wildlife Photographer of the Year and Birds, Brilliant and Bizarre. So the guys down at the Natural History Museum are going to look after you and treat you like the VIPs that you are.
Thank you.
Amazing. Go and see the big whale. It's in the ceiling.
Yeah,
It's
so have a
amazing.
fabulous day. William, well done. Congratulations on this amazing achievement. Have you got plans for a new challenge at some point?
Well,
Maybe next year.
you did one in June, didn't you? How far did you walk in June?
Did 5K in June.
5K, dude,
This is
doesn't
just
stop.
the beginning.
Doesn't stop.
This is just the beginning for certain sure.
lovely to meet you all. Thank you
Thank
for coming
you.
and doing
Thank
it.
you.
Have a
Thank you.
fabulous day as well.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thanks very much.